Hey, so the second show of Melodifestivalen kicked off yesterday in Malmö. We heard 7 new songs, 2 of which would go direct to finalen and 2 would go to andra chansen. So what we're gonna do is review the 7 songs from yesterday's show. Då kör vi! The first song on the night was David Lindgren with We Are Your Tomorrow. The opening note of the song with that sort of electric howl sort of set the atmosphere for the whole song with the whole laser show. Especially when it was in the second verse, the lasers were pointed out and the sort of backing dancers emerged from the lasers. That was probably the best part of the whole staging for David Lindgren. However, the song didn't live up to my expectations. I much preferred Skyline and much preferred Shout It Out, but somehow I still did pretty well. I can only sort of vaguely remember the chorus. I won't be able to do it note by note. I felt it really lacked the sort of dancey vibe that Shout It Out and Skyline really embraced, especially Skyline when they were just running around the stage. That's what David Lindgren does best, and I feel this was really lacking that. Song 2 was Victor och Natten with 100%. To be honest, the only thing I can really remember for that song is when the big poster was held up in front of Gina just before the song started. It was kind of awkward for Gina, but she sort of laughed it off in her very stylish manner. The song, however, did have quite a good bridge and a good chorus. If it came up in the recap, you'd sort of jive along to it. Song 2 is never a good placing that SVT puts their star performers in. It was also quite evident that SVT didn't have much hope in him because that staging did look kinda cheap in a way. It had some podiums and some cheerleaders. His jacket was nice though, which is something. It did kind of feel like a cheap Andreas Weisse from last year with his song Bring Out the Fire. The cheerleaders resembled the sort of women who were parading around Andreas during his number last year. Now time for the third song of the evening. Pettersson Hammar with Hunger. I'll Be Fine was an absolute banger, but Hunger was just unbelievably good. I'm not sure whether it's because it's got the Debs and Anton writing the song this year, but it just felt so much more better produced in a way and a lot more pop orientated than I'll Be Fine, which was more soulful piano, her and her voice. But this song was well and truly out of this world, out of this galaxy, out of this universe. It was just phenomenal. The red colour scheme really worked with her in a dress with the fire, and when the lighting set came down, it felt really like I'll Be Fine staging wise, but the song it had that different soul and different atmosphere to it, which was just so much stronger, I feel. And when she started with the fire around it, that was just gold, and the colours that the fire made was just, it really enhanced Hunger. My favourite part is in the second verse. The camera fades and transitions between every time like the song like clicks. It just flows with the melody of the song. It really made it feel sort of cinematic in a way. Also, what Molly strives on is definitely her arm movements. Her body language when she sings is just, she spreads wide, she does this, she's just an artist with her hands. And not in that way. Her charisma was just on point, her vocals were on point. I know it's not Miss Universe, but seriously, she is hilarious if you look at her interviews. That's quite rare to see in a Melfest artist since this whole Swedish lagom culture where people don't really seem to have the will to express their own personality. Some artists literally just stick to like a set answers to interviews, where some just go off the rails completely, like Ace Wilder and Molly Pettersson Hammar. Seriously, that was a great interview with Weeby Vlogs that she did. They brought up that she looked like Joan of Arc burning on the stake, and her reaction was priceless.
You know when they burn people alive?
No, I don't want you to think of that. No. I just want you to like think of
Queen. You should definitely go add her on Snapchat because some of the shit she posts on there is real crazy. Anyway, we sidetracked enough, so let's head over to the next song. It was Isa with I Will Wait. The reason I'm glad that is because it was boring as fuck. She's really gonna tumble down the bookies to the scale in the bookies order tonight. She was second favourite coming into this. You can get odds on her 3-1 to win. Molly Sandén is on like £2.50 to win. I really feel the staging sort of saved it for Isa. If she wants to do well, she really needs an all-round package like Miss Slace Wilder. Don't Worry was so good. However, her vocals were pretty darn good, and the whole henna tattoo thing she was going on, that was pretty snazzy. I probably can't sing the melody or the chorus to you. It was kind of forgettable in a way. It's only because she had the whole shadows and lights which really made the song what it is. Anyway, enough of Isa and her boring ass song. So we're gonna head over to what was an injection of energy into this. Krista Siegfrids with Falla, which was song number 5. This was my big surprise of the night. I wasn't really feeling that much hype towards Krista coming in. I wasn't a fan of Marry Me. Neither was I a fan of her other songs. She's a good presenter in UMK, don't get me wrong, but her music is not that good. The start gave me soft engine flashbacks with the little soft piano. People were slagging it off for being an old-fashioned Schlager song. It was an upbeat, modern, untsy Schlager song, which deserved to go to Andrew Hansen. When the chorus hit, the subtle guitar synths and just the way she performs it with all the dances and the lights was just unstoppable. I really liked the use of echoes, just after she said "Fade," it really it set the scene to transition to the next part of the chorus. This was one of the songs with the chorus I could probably remember. I remember Jag tror jag faller so much more than, I don't know, Isa's I Will Wait, which somehow made it to Andrew Hansen. I can't remember anything from that song apart from the lights and the head tattoo. And plus, it wasn't in an annoying way like Isa's previous entry, Don't Stop. Her vocals were on point, the checkered flag, colour scheme with the red outfits was fabulous. And the platform in the middle of the stage, a bit like Robin Bengtsson's from Deltävling nummer 1, but it was still phenomenal. There was this particular part when all the blocks sort of fell down as she said "falla", which was a nice touch to what was a really top quality entry. Number 6 was the trio I can't remember the names of, Patrik, Tommy och Uno, with Håll mitt hjärta hårt, which means hold my heart tight. I'm sorry, but this just put me to absolute sleep. It's like they were holding my heart so tight that I just died. I had no pulse throughout the course of these 3 minutes. To be fair though to the trio, the lyrics were quite sweet and nice, but nothing really else saved it. One of the only things I can remember were the nice lamps, where one of the people walked down the stairs. Had some nice lamps though. And for that reason, I'm not gonna say it's horrible. Anyway, the last song of the night was Wiktoria with Save Me. I wasn't really feeling it in the snippet. People said the LED just projection thing was amazing and just like Mons 2.0. I read on blogs and posts everywhere, on Twitter as well, people saying that Wiktoria was such a queen and she slayed it. But actually when it came to the real performance, she did beat my expectations. It's no Ace Wilder debut, but it is still pretty solid. The chorus was definitely memorable, as was the staging with the LED dress. But to be fair, it wasn't really a dress, it was more a bodysuit. It especially caught my attention in the third verse, which was top notch, by the way, Wiktoria. She was kind of static throughout her performance. Especially in the snippet, she just looked so awkward when it would have the bridge into another verse and she'd just be standing there like, because she probably has never been on a stage like that before. She really wasn't used to it. However, she was sort of dancing around and really living it up when it came to those points, so she didn't look as awkward. She looked kind of awkward, but not too bad. The vocals were solid throughout, and plus I really liked the twang in her voice she had, which made her sound really confident in her own voice and her own song. Anyway, results time now, and it was kind of predictable, the fact that progressed further on into the contest. David, Victoria, Isa and Molly. I didn't really expect David to go direct to the final. I thought that was kind of undeserved. I was sort of gearing up for Isa to go direct, even though I despised her song, but I was just expecting it to go through because she had lots of support last time with Don't Stop, which somehow made it direct to the final, even though that was literally a piece of shit. And of course I was praying for Molly Pettersson Hammar to go direct to the final. Didn't happen, but she's going to Andrew Hansen, which is good. Andrew Hansen's going to be really messy because we have Samuel Victor, we have Rick with Albin and Matthias, which was my favourite from the last Deltävling. And now we have Hunger in Andrew Hansen. If any of my favourites get duelled, that would just be the worst. And we still have 2 more heats to go, so it could get really messy. What we haven't covered is Wiktoria making it direct to the final, which was kind of predictable. Sometimes Swedes can warm to the new sort of artists, especially her song was quite easy to warm to, I feel. She wasn't sort of a too big, cocky personality, which I think Ace Wilder kind of is, although like she slays. But still, I think she's quite, the Swedes will kind of, she's quite subjective. But Wiktoria was quite sweet and nice, and the song was quite good. She seemed so nervous coming into the results because she was there with Krista. Both of them deserve it to go to direct to the final, but Wiktoria, she just seems so surprised. She's only 19, remember. I can't see it winning in Stockholm. I can see Don't Worry winning. I can't really see We Are Your Tomorrow winning. Constellation Prize I can see winning, but definitely not Save Me. It will be there. It'll probably get quite a few points from the international jury, but I can't really see it doing unbelievably well. However, we're going to have 2 more people going direct to the final and 2 more people going to Andra Johansson next week in Norrköping. It's going to be a bit of a lackluster week, to be honest. I can't remember who's there. Sarahaha with Kazungu Zungu. I think Swingfly is going to be there, and I'm intrigued to see what that's going to be like. The title seems pretty brutal. And speaking of brutal titles, Lisa Ajax is going to be there with her song My Heart Wants Me Dead. So I'm praying for that to be an okay heat. This one was... I was hoping for David to have a better song because I was really rooting for David when he was announced, and then I saw the snippet and I was disappointed. But Molly though, oh, she's released 3 singles, I'll Be Fine, Hunger and Something Right. And this one's number 1 for me. It's just so good. It's my number 1 in Malmö so far. So that's all from this week's video. Thanks for watching and hej då!